Hello and welcome to your Thoughts from the Green Room with your host, Jeff Mays. This week's topic is finding home. As an actor, one of the things that I've seen on stage, it's not something that I do myself, is I've seen actors get lost in a character. They get too caught up in the work and they aren't able to find who they are. Their demeanor changes, they're not as friendly as they used to be, they're more aggressive. Whatever the character traits are, they seem to take on and embody for the length of the run. Some people would call this a version of method acting. And personally, I'm not referring to those individuals who intentionally go that way. I'm going to those individuals as actors who truly get lost. They aren't able to separate character work and personal life. That they just get wrapped up in it and they sort of osmosize things accidentally rather than intentionally, which is where I believe a method actor is coming from. And the result of that, from my experience, is typically a negative thing. Working with actors of that nature who don't know where to draw the line. And it reminds me when I do work with those individuals, one of the key things that I think is important about acting is that division. When I step onto stage or I step onto screen, it's important for me to bring my character, but when they call cut or I step off the stage, it's important for me to come back. Those things shouldn't cross. I have to pause there for a second because as an actor, of course, you've got to bring your life, bring yourself into your role, and in that respect, they cross a little bit. It gets a little muddled. But overall, if I'm playing a very aggressive, crazy, axe murdery type individual, well, that's not me in real life. I can draw on past experiences of being upset and angry to help develop that character. But when I'm finished playing that character, I shouldn't be more aggressive all of a sudden than I typically am and more angry than I typically am just because my character has been part of me for a couple hours on stage or a couple hours on set. I consider that ability, the ability to find home, find myself again, to sit back into who I am after I complete a character. Now, where does all this come from? I was sitting on the subway a couple days ago and a lady stepped onto the subway car I was on. She seemed to be a stereotype of someone who could be homeless with the raggedy clothes and demeanor and odor and whatnot, here nor there. This lady fell into the subway chair and she really just sort of sank into it as if she had found loving arms of a caring individual. And she let out this big, huge sigh and just curled into it and settled up and she almost went to sleep. It was very interesting to watch because it was as if she'd found home. Now, the reason I brought up that she was homeless was maybe this was her first opportunity that day to find a nice air-conditioned spot that she was able to settle into and she was getting relief from the heat. Or maybe there's a familiarity with the subway where she knows where she is and she feels safe for a while. I'm not sure what her reason or being could be. She may have just been tired for all I know. But from my perception, she had found a little piece of home where she was comfortable, sated, and obviously feeling safe to settle in like that. And that is what reminded me of what the actor is. When I'm off playing this really rough character or a very emotional piece, it takes a lot out of me. And it takes a lot to go there. And I have to be able to step off stage and settle into the safety of myself. And I think it's an important lesson that can be applied to everybody. My question for you all out there this week is, where is your home? I'm not necessarily talking about the room that you go back to at the end of day, and hopefully that's often the space, but not necessarily. Where is that space of solitude? Is it a certain spot in the park, a bench? Is it a certain place in the city, maybe your favorite coffee shop, a friend's house? A parent's home. I don't know where it might be for you, but my challenge for you is to identify actively where home is. And with that said, I leave you for the week. Go and spend some time in home and de-stress. And I'll talk to you in a week or two. Those are your thoughts from the green room, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good one. I'll talk to you in a bit.